Assalamu alaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Welcome dear students to another tutorial on Adobe After Effects CC. In this tutorial we're going to explain and demonstrate how to create a path animation, and we are going to start with text layer at the beginning. Basically we have several techniques to create path animation. You can create the path animation from scratch as we are going to explain in this tutorial, or you can go to your effects and search for a path animation preset. I'm going to search for a path animation called pipes as an example. You have a lot under the animation presets text paths, so I will double click. As you can see here, so we have this text animated along a path. Okay, so as I said, we are going to create our own text, and we are going to create the animation or the path animation from scratch. I'm going to start by double clicking here and writing After Effects. You are not seeing anything because the text is black. I'm gonna change it to CC. Okay, so how to apply an animation path? Basically the animation path that you're gonna apply is really a mask. So again, how do you apply a mask to our layer? If you remember, we said when you create a shape layer, if you have any text, any layer selected except for the shape layer itself, the shape layer is going to create a mask on this layer or inside this layer. So this is what you're going to do. Keep or make sure that the text layer is selected, and I'm going to create a layer, a shape layer. So I'm going to double click it, and as you can see, when I double click to create a shape, I'm not going to create a shape. I see only the path, and I see here under the text a mask group. So it's a mask now. So under the mask you have the mask path. Of course you don't have the same settings that you have with the ellipse path, which is the X and Y position, the size, horizontal and vertically. I'm gonna just click the shape. I can just press and hold Control and Shift to make it small. If you want to make it circle, you have to click Shift and Control and move that way. It's gonna be almost circle. Okay, and then I'm gonna use this Shift and Control to keep it center, Shift to keep it uniformly scaling, how to scale it uniformly. Okay, now I'm gonna close the groups and open the text, so we demonstrate how the layer structure became after adding the mask. You see we have text, mask, and transform. If you remember, when we explained the text, we said we have under the text group a path options group, and when we expanded it last time, when we checked the none, or when we click this drop down menu, we didn't see anything a part of the none, and we told you because there is nothing, or there is no mask created yet. But now we have a mask, so as soon as you apply the mask, you see the text directly moves along the path. Okay, by default it's not gonna move, it's just gonna be positioned along the path, and we're gonna have these path options here. Okay, so we are gonna demonstrate them fully. The first thing, we're gonna just click this on. It's gonna be reversed, it's gonna be above the path, it's gonna be either outside or inside. Let's say it perpendicular. By default it's on, so each layer is perpendicular to the path, but you can make it off, and the letter is going to be like this, and I don't think this is nice, but maybe for some cases you want to do this. So I'm gonna keep it on for this time, and I'm gonna keep this on. What you can do here also, you can force alignment. What does it do? Basically, when you click it, it's gonna distribute the letters along your path. Okay, I'm gonna turn this off. What's important here basically is the first margin and last margin, and most likely you're gonna see this when you add a path animation preset, okay, to your text. You're gonna have the animation either added to the first margin or to the last margin. The first margin, it determines where the animation is gonna start, and the last margin determines where the animation is gonna end. So you can change any one of them basically to create the animation. So I'm gonna just change this. I'm gonna make it start from this position, from here for example. So you can see, you can move it from up if you want. Sorry, not the text, not the path, this one, the first margin and the last margin. You see, I'm changing now the first margin. Okay, if you want, you can change the last margin, and this is what you're gonna see. Basically, they are very similar. You can select to change any one of them or both of them in some cases. So for this case, I have my shape or my text positioned here, which is more or less what I want. I'm gonna double click the path. I'm gonna scale it a little bit down, so it's when it moves, it's not gonna go outside my composition borders. And now I will again go here and make it centered like that, and then I'm gonna create the animation. Simply turn on the stopwatch, just move the animation along the timeline for 5 seconds. Anyway, we can just make this only 10-second composition. The duration is gonna be 5 this time. Okay, and I'm gonna just move it. You can move it from here or you can move it from there. You see, I'm gonna just rotate it one cycle. So you see, keyframe is created by default, and that's it. When we press space, we simply have this animation along the path. As simple as that. Of course, you can turn this off, and the animation is gonna move along or inside the path, not outside the path. Whatever you want, you can create. Both is gonna be okay. Basically, there is no wrong and right about it. It depends on the scenario and what you want to create and what you want to do. Now the question here, this is a circle. Can I create a custom path like using a pen tool? Sure, you can do this. To create that, I'm gonna just go to the layer and press M. I want to select the mask. I'm gonna delete the mask fully, and I'm gonna go back to the text. You see, without a mask. Again, while the text is selected, I'm gonna click and select the pen tool, and I'm gonna click here, click and hold. Okay, you might say, but nothing is created, but it does. If you see here, we already created a mask. I'm gonna just click and drag, and then here click and drag again, just exactly like the pen tool you used to do in other applications like Illustrator, Photoshop, Animate, CC, anything else. So I'm gonna just move this a little bit like this. Okay, and now, as I did before, I'm gonna go to the text, path options. I'm gonna select mask. As you can see now, the text is along my mask, and with this example, basically I'm gonna select from here. With this example, I am going to be starting from here. Okay, so again, to create an animation, you just first you have to click it. You don't have to click it, but I'm gonna start from the beginning. I'm gonna just move it along all the way to here. I'm gonna just move it like that. I can just go outside if I want, and I can start also outside if I want. You see, I'm gonna start from outside. Okay, see now when you preview the animation, where is the animation preview here? Oh, okay, I cannot see it. It's here. Okay, now you see I have a path animation along, or a text along a path animation. Of course, if you want to display the shape, you can create the shape without selecting the text, and then you copy paste it inside your text, which is going to create a path animation, and we are going to cover this in another tutorial, inshallah. So I hope this was very clear. This is simply how to create a path animation. Feel free to test it, and also if you want, which is also a good idea, add an animation preset and try to customize the animation that you have already applied by After Effects. Animation presets are very useful, especially for me, not only to add a quick and easy, or to apply a quick and easy animation, but if you want to learn something, especially if you are still learning the basics, you can add the animation preset and go to the settings and examine them and see how they work. Okay, in the next tutorial we are going to cover one example on creating a text path animation, which is like you can see here. You see, I'm going to play the animation, and this is going to be the path. As you can see, the path is a little bit different, and I have a text with you can consider it a reflection of the text. Okay, when I pause, you see it's just like a reflection for this text, web and multimedia development. And when I click it, you see this is my path. Okay, we're gonna cover this in the next tutorial. You can click on it at the end of this video. Thank you very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed the tutorial, and see you next tutorials.